Okay, everybody, I created this tutorial so that way you guys um, can be able to see how to be able to transmit files back and forth across the internet to my FTP site as far as your sessions and stuff. And I'm creating it brand new because there's been some changes to the FTP server. And also, I want to be able to throw this up on YouTube so that way you can easily get access to it, and I can just shoot you a link and don't have to worry about trying to transfer a huge video file to you. So if you're working with Pro Tools, or New Window, Sonar, whatever. Actually, Sonar, if you're working with Sonar, my preference is if there's a way where you can dump it down to an OMF version 1 file, definitely do so. If you're using Pro Tools LE, my preference is that you just dump it down to the stems. You consolidate all the files down as far as your tracks are concerned, and just make a note of the tempo. If you cannot do that, I can open up Pro Tools files. However, they need to be either 44.1 or 44 or 48K. I can't open up anything higher than that inside of Pro Tools. And I am using version 8, by the way. So it's just that I'm using, that's just the limitations of an inbox. So, but as far as like New Window, any of the Steinberg stuff, I can open those up. But once again, my preference is that it makes life a lot easier and easier for me to, and it's also cheaper for you if I don't have to convert those. To a format that I can work with because I'm using Logic on my end. So the first thing there's two programs that you're going to need. You're going to need WinRAR and you're going to need FileZilla. So WinRAR I use to be able to compress and expand the files. So let's do that. warlabs.com. So www.rarlabs.com. So you go there, you go ahead and click on downloads. Go ahead and click on the first one for x86 32-bit if you're in Windows. If you're in the Mac OS X, you can. It's the command line version. Actually, if you're running the Mac OS X, don't even worry about it. You can just use the built-in archive. So if you're Windows, run WinRAR. We'll go ahead and install this real quick. And the file that I'm going to email to you, it's actually compressed. It's an XML file. And I'm installing this. It's an XML file, but I compress it. I can actually compress it to zip or RAR format, and you just basically let me know ahead of time what your preference is. If you already have like WinZip or something like that, just let me know, and then I can just send the file to you in a .zip format. It's just that by default I use WinRAR. So this here is kind of like an option. If you don't happen to have, if you're running Windows and you don't happen to have like some sort of compression utility. The other thing you're going to need, and this is an absolute must, is FileZilla. So the best way I could tell you to do that is just Google and type in FileZilla. And this is a free FTP client. So you just go ahead and download. And this works in both, there's both a Mac version as well as a Windows version, and obviously there's Linux, but Mac and Windows are the two things that I'm concerned with. So just go ahead and you want to go ahead and install that. Okay, download the file, run it. Okay, now once this is installed, it's going to be very easy because then all you have to do is just check in your email for the file attachment that I send you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit Start FileZilla now. Okay, you're going to get to this window here. All your local drives are going to be on your left window. The stuff that's going to be on the FTP side is going to be in the right side of the window. So now let's say that you open up your email and you received a file from me, and in this particular case we'll just use this one here. It's compressed. I'm going to extract it, and where'd it go? Ah, there it is. Okay, so the file is right here actually. Okay, so I'm going to go back into FileZilla. All I did was extract it to my desktop. I'm going to go into FileZilla. I'm going to click on File. I'm going to click on Import. I'm looking at my desktop, and there's the file that I extracted. I'm going to import that in, everything. Okay. Once that's imported, all I got to do now is just go up here to the top left corner where it says Open the Site Manager, hit the little drop down and select it, and now you're connected to the server. Just dump everything into the public folder. You can ignore all these other folders. They're generated automatically by the system when your account is created on my FTP server. Okay, so but just focus your attention on what's inside of here. So when you want to upload a file, let's say you go to your C drive, and let's say there's let's say you want to you can do one of a couple of things. You can either send me the entire uncompressed folder, or you can literally go to your hard drive first and then compress it utilizing WinRAR, which actually is preferred because it cuts down on bandwidth usage and also disk space storage. So let's go to my C drive. Here's the folder. I want to compress it. Okay, so now it's compressed. I can go back into FileZilla. If I click these two little dots, all it's going to do is take me up to the root. So I'm going to click on the C drive, and there's the file that was created, the compressed file. I can just drag and drop that on over. Okay. Now, generally there's going to be a folder called completed sessions. I just created a folder in here called completed sessions. So when I'm done with the work, I'm actually going to dump it in here and into this folder for you to retrieve, download it, and retrieve it. I am not going to be responsible for files that are completed. Okay, after I've especially because I'm going to contact you and say, look, it's done. Go ahead and download it, and then archive it by burning it to a DVD, CD, whatever, but the bottom line is these are your mastered files. You are responsible for them. I've given them to you. I'm not going to hold on to them forever. So this is your property as far as I'm concerned. So your property, your responsibility. You're just basically paying me to do the work, and then that's it. So I will leave them on the server for at least a good week or two, but don't but if it's like 2 or 3 months down the line, you're really taking your chances if you haven't taken them off the server, and it's really not that hard. That's the reason why I want this tutorial to be easily and readily accessible to you guys, so that way you're covered and I'm covered, and we can all continue to have our nice happy working relationship. So there's going to be another folder called completed mixes. This is where I'm going to dump any, let's see here, hold on, there's completed mixes. Completed mixes, there it is. Okay, this is where I'm going to dump the MP3 files for you to check out, the mixes for you to check out and say, okay, yeah, cool, I like this, once I get the green light that you are happy with the mix and with the mix that's been presented to you, that's when I'll go ahead and upload the actual session files into the completed mixes folder or in completed sessions folder, and then I'll go ahead and shoot you a PayPal invoice, so that way we can go ahead and complete the business transaction. So it pretty much this it's really easy. This is it in a nutshell. If you have any questions, let me know. Also, the other thing is too is that if we're not doing business on a regular basis, I do disable the accounts. So it's just a matter of if you try to connect to it, later on down the line. Let's say we don't communicate for you know 3 or 4 months, or that's the end of the project. I disable your account and then I re-enable it when you're ready to do some more work. And but the settings that you have in here are still going to be good. So it's just a matter of contacting me and say, hey, I got some stuff I want to upload to you. You want to enable the account. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Give me a call, shoot me an email if you got any questions. Other than that, that's it. Thanks.